we're tracking for you this evening. The electric vehicle industry is likely to get a boost in the interim budget. We learned from sources that the government is expected to announce a 12,500 crore rupee support package for the sector on February 1st. However, the subsidy per vehicle could be lower compared to the phase 2 of the FAME scheme, which is set to expire in March this year. Now, the growth in sales of electric vehicles is only expected to continue to grow in 2024. Sample this, last year, the country witnessed the sale of over 15 lakh electric vehicles across various segments, almost a 50% growth versus 2022. So what does the sector need to continue this growth uptrend? We are joined by Dr. R.K. Mishra, the co-founder of Yulu, and Dev Arora, the co-founder and CEO of Alt Mobility. Also with me, my colleague Ritu Singh. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. As I was just saying at this point, Mr. Mishra, let me come to you first. Sources have told CNBC-TV18 that there could be a 12,500 crore rupee support package for the EV sector, but the subsidy per vehicle could be lower versus phase 2 of the FAME scheme. Do you think this is a good enough impetus? Will this be beneficial?
First of all, I think it's very good that there was some discussion that FAME may not continue. So I'm very happy, and we all lobbied for it, that FAME must continue. We are still very early stages of EV adoption. But more importantly, it is how it is being given and where it is targeted. It's very important that we understand why EVs need subsidy, because EV is expensive. 40% of the EV cost is in battery. And especially for two-wheelers and three-wheelers, EVs essentially can be unstoppable battery. And we should focus primarily on aggregators. For example, people who are aggregating for delivery, services and things like that. So if we focus on swapping, then the cost to the end user comes down. As the cost to end user comes down, then essentially adoption will be much more, and the real objective of the government will be fulfilled, which essentially is to have more electric vehicles on our roads. So I think we need to have a battery swapping policy. Is not very clear. We don't have clarity on incentives, taxation, certifications, and network expansion. So if we get that clarity and focus on incentives for swapping, then the cost of electric vehicles will automatically come down. Then we don't have to worry about whether it is 1 lakh electric vehicle or 3 lakh electric vehicle, how much I give, and who to give, who not to give. No discrimination. Focus on battery swapping. Give the incentives on the swapping. Especially when there is a dichotomy. If you buy a bike with the battery, GST is 5%. But if you buy a battery which is swappable, the GST on cells is 18%. This is very, very clear anomaly which needs to be addressed. And GST on transactions. If you go for
sure, Mr. Mishra, we take your point, and we'll come back to you for paucity of time. Dev, let me quickly come to you on your thoughts. Of course, the industry is going to be happy if the FAME subsidy is extended, and that's what they want. But, if you were to look at the budget asks, do you expect that to come this time around? Or what are your other top 2 to 3, items on your wish list?
Well, it's not just the industry which is going to be happy. We hope the consumers are going to be happy with the subsidies that are coming in. India is positioning itself on a geopolitical front to be an emerging leader in technologies, and EVs is basically the future of automotive. So we believe that both on the demand and supply side, I hope the government will continue to build on the subsidy policies, both on the demand side where you have FAME 2 and on the supply side where you have PLI, including the infrastructure that is required, the vehicles that's required. So FAME 2 should certainly continue. And the growth that we're going to see in this sector from a total cost of ownership perspective, EVs are becoming more and more attractive. CapEx cost is higher. To bring the CapEx cost at parity with combustion vehicles, this is why the subsidy is largely utilized. And we hope that it will continue to kind of dominate the demand side trends. We also think that from a financing standpoint that EVs should come under priority sector lending that will allow more banking and financing institutions to participate in this space. There's a lot of uncertainty that financing institutions have today with regards to offering finance to a normal electric vehicle. So interest rates are quite high. That's largely because there's no clarity around the secondary market and residual values. So we believe that policies should be put in place, not just PLI-based schemes, but also to look at energy storage. So after an electric vehicle battery is reaching its end of life, what happens to the energy storage? Can it be used in renewables and where new tenders are coming out from the grid? So we believe that energy storage second life is a major push that the government should be looking at as well.
Absolutely. All right, Dr. Mishra, if I could just come back to you. We've got 30 seconds. If you could quickly tell us, you touched upon the charging infra. And in fact, the draft policy has seen a lot of pushback with many companies saying it favored the bigger players. And especially when it came to standardization of batteries. Are you expecting the budget to address this in any fashion?
I don't think budget will talk about standardization because that's not the mandate of the budget. This is part of the policy which for now has been put on back burner because it's too early. Too early in the evolution of both technology and adoption of the batteries. We should not standardize, otherwise, the winner takes all situation happens. I think let technology, and also technology is changing very fast. So we should not standardize, but however, there should be an effort that over a few years, standardization will emerge essentially on its own because people will start using what is better and cheaper. So I don't think there is too much, government should not try to interfere where industry can do, better job. But government should nudge that we need to install, like for example, connectivity standards and charge points and things. There's standardization is happening, which is pretty good. But battery size and technology should not be standardized.
Sure. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. But Dr. Mishra, Dev, both of you, from priority sector to the PLI scheme, there's lots on the table. We'll see, what gets addressed in this budget. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. All right. So we'll move on from the EV sector to the